Episode 5, The Threesome and the Two Indians. After Alvin's Elvis show at Leo's Bar and Grill last night, I woke up with a doozy of a hangover. Good thing I quit smoking, because if a flame got near me, I would have probably self-destruct. Kaboom! Goodbye, Mr. Anderson. After my third coffee, I start to feel my face again. Funny, it usually takes only 2 coffees to bring me back to life. That bloody Alvin could sing, that's for sure. And yes, Anderson's Funeral Home will now offer an Elvis-themed wedding funeral package. I think to myself, I'll have to get Harry the painter to make up another sign to add to the front yard sign. We do Elvis services. My thoughts move back to last night. Sam was pretty cozy with this old goat. She was a little pissed though. I don't know for sure, but where there's cozy, there's usually a piece of tail. If Tina wasn't there, I would have put my smooth moves on, in like Flint, I'm sure. Oh, jeez. After we dropped off Sam, Tina didn't have a lot to say to me. Jealous, my little Tinkerbell? Maybe I could bang them both, ooh la la. Maybe at the same time, ooh la la la. You old dog man. I did dance with both of them last night, if that counts for anything. Jesus, it's been a while since Jim and the twins got out to play. Ben mused to himself, then suddenly got all serious. It seems like people are dying all around me. Oh shit, that's right, I do run a funeral home, but Dad, Mom, Carol, and now Bert. Damn Carol, I miss you so much. When I walked over to the funeral home, it was business as usual. Sid was busy talking with a farmer, looking at the F-250 pickup truck. Nice truck, won't last long, I yell as I head back to the funeral home office. Tina is busy going through her bills and paperwork and all the other boring stuff. Good morning, Tina. She grunts out.
First, it's not morning. Second, what's good about it?
Excuse me for talking, I reply as I plunk my ass down in the chair in front of her desk. She looks up at me for a second and then goes back to her paperwork. Cold vibrations fill the room. Then she says,
You have to go and give an appraisal on the old guy's truck. Remember, Mrs. Simpson? She wants to trade it in for her husband's funeral.
Yep, she was all business this morning. Yes, ma'am, Johnny on the spot. I jump up and head to the door.
Stop,
she says, a little louder than necessary. I turn to her and she asks,
Do we shoot people out of cannons yet?
What? Are you pulling my leg? Dead or alive?
I got a call this morning. This dead Army colonel's last wishes are to have a 21-gun salute. Then his ashes to be shot out of a cannon over his farm's field. His lawyer says no one will do it for him in Swift Current.
Well, of course we can, somehow. Remember our motto, we put the fun back in funerals. To which Tina makes a small groan and raises her eyebrows. Ask his lawyer if he'd like Elvis to light the fuse. I start to sing, Return to Sender. Tina just frowns at me.
You're going to need the address.
She holds her famous Post-it note in her hand.
Just off Highway 3, before the Triple Creek Ranch.
I walk back over to her to take it when I notice one of the bills on her desk. Saskatchewan Power in big letters across the top. I see the figures on the payment line at the bottom of the paper. $3,035.37? Holy shit! Are we heating the whole fucking town? It's not even winter yet. How the hell are we going to pay for this? We don't have that kind of cash.
Mr. Big Shot, we do burn people here, remember? We have a crematorium and it's powered by natural gas, just like a gas barbecue.
I could barbie a herd of buffalo with that much gas. I've never seen it. How big is it? Could we nuke a horse in it? I should know this in case a customer wants to be burned to dust with his horse. I finally get a little smile from her. Warming up. Winter is over.
It's not that big, silly. Go see Vlad and he will give you the tour. In fact, he's preparing Mrs. Carson at the moment for her service tomorrow. Maybe you can go and give him a hand. Do you have gloves? If not, I'm sure Vlad can supply you with some.
That's not going to happen today, that's for sure.
A little hungover, are we? I thought you two drunks were going to start screwing in my car last night. Disgusting sight. Next time, get a room.
Winter is back. Yeah. Listen, let's get back to our cookhouse. Can we do 2 or 3 cremations at the same time? You know, go green, save the world, and our gas bill.
Nope. It may be big enough depending on the coffin used, but people don't want their ashes all mixed up with someone else's, and it's the law as well.
Screw the law, I have a great lawyer. But what if it's done up front, a discount in the cost of the service, if you don't mind a little mix and match? Like if you want to be cooked up with your wife, if you died together. Talk about warm and cozy. Tina's green eyes light up.
That could be a gray area, I suppose. Let me think about it, and I'll run it by my mother.
Meet me at Leo's later with what you find out.
Not a chance in hell. 1 night a week is more than enough for me in that dump. But I must admit it was fun last night, and Elvin stole my heart. I think I'll bang his brains out.
My heart skips a beat. Lucky guy, I think. But say, daughter like mother, you guys will shag anyone. I say with my biggest smile.
Not everyone,
she says with a cold, straight face. All right, suit yourself. Off to look at a very old truck. Later. Back on the road, I'm fantasizing again about a threesome with Sam and Tina when it hits me. I am fucking brilliant! Brilliant! Why be cremated by yourself? At Anderson's funeral home, you don't have to be. Have that threesome you always wanted. We will even put you in our warm and cozy oven, au naturel, with your newfound friends. Go green. Anderson's funeral home is a green operation. Save money. You can spend your last day on Earth as a whole human with up to 3 friends, if you choose the no casket way. All respective relatives will get an equal amount of your ashes and friends. Save the planet and come to Anderson's. Some conditions may apply. I am laughing so hard, I almost missed the turn to Mrs. Sampson's farm. Oops, I mean Simpson's. I park and I see a very old gal picking weeds out of her flower bed. She turns to look at me, then slowly gets up to her feet.
You must be Mr. Anderson,
she says, putting out her dirty shrunken hand. I shake it very gently.
Rudy's old truck is over there in the garage.
There is a very sad 1968 Buick sedan parked in front of the garage. By looking at the car, I'm feeling like this was going to be a waste of my time and gas. No green. Just then, Sid pulls up in his truck, which is pulling our large flat deck trailer. Tina must have told him where I was going. Going to have to keep my eye on those two. He doesn't trust me when it comes to pricing vehicles, as my heart usually leads my head, meaning if I really want the car, I usually pay too much. I said to Sid, "Who's selling cars on the lot today? Vlad? He would scare all the customers away." "My name is Count Vladimir. Are you here to buy a car or a coffin?"
It was a slow day. I put the back in an hour sign up and it has my cell number on it. No biggie, Ben. Besides, I doubt that old piece of shit truck in the garage will start, which is why I brought the trailer.
I introduce Sid. He looks at the dirty little hand and reluctantly shakes it. She points over to the beat-up Buick and says,
I could trade in Sally, my old Buick, instead to help pay for my dear Rudy's funeral, and then keep the truck. It's in better shape than Sally, but I never learned to drive 3 on the tree. Too late now, I guess.
The old doors open with ease and not even a creak.
Come on in. Here it is, Mr. Anderson. Please do your best on the price. I don't have very much cash to my name.
Sid follows me into the garage. My jaw drops to the ground. The truck is shining brighter than a new car, and it's a 1935 Ford pickup and the V8 model. Shit, I say out loud.
It's shit?
No, it's not shit. It's amazing. Didn't Rudy ever drive it?
Oh, yes, a little bit. I think it has over 2,000 miles on it now. Rudy mostly liked to wash and wax it. He bought it new back in the 30s. It was his baby.
I open the door and look inside. It's mint. Shit, I say out loud again.
It smells like shit? Oh, dear.
No, sorry. It smells great, I reply, still drooling all over the truck. She is jiggling something in her hand through the side window. I turn to see it's the keys to the truck.
I'm sure you'll want to start it up, as Rudy was the last to drive it.
I take the key and put it in the ignition. When I turn the key, I am surprised to hear the engine turn over, but it didn't start. I try again. This time, I hold the key over a little longer. The engine coughs once, but that's it. I hear Sid say,
That is why I brought the trailer bus.
I give it one more try, as I know the battery is about to give up. When I turn the key, vroom! It fires up and runs like a Swiss watch. Three's a beach. Sid just shakes his head with a big grin on his face. This truck will pay for the best funeral you could ever want for poor Rudy, and then some. Ever thought of a long winter vacation to Maui? You could bring your grandchildren too. She says out loud,
Shit, that's great news, Mr. Anderson.
I look at her as tears are rolling down her old wrinkled face. Man, the wrong guy could have ripped her off so bad. I am glad I am the right guy. I was too busy staring at the truck to notice what was parked tightly beside the beautiful machine. Covered in other old shit is a time-worn motorcycle. Sid is already digging through the stuff with his damn Indian nose.
Looks like an old Indian motorcycle. I think it's a 1943 Scout, huh? Wow, it looks pretty good, Ben. Nice bike.
I notice that Mrs. Simpson is looking a little upset. Are you okay, Mrs. Simpson? Sorry, we shouldn't be looking through your stuff without your permission. Sid, get out of there! I yell. He just keeps moving stuff around like he didn't hear a word I said. Mrs. Simpson says to me,
No, Mr. Anderson. It's just I haven't been in the garage for years, and Rudy and I used to go for long rides on that Indian motorbike. I would hang on tight with my arms around Rudy's waist, and we would ride. One time, all the way to the Calgary Stampede. Oh shit, my ass was so numb, I never thought I could ever have feeling in it again. After all, I was sitting on the pillow on the bike's rear fender. But we had so much fun. I think it was that trip where I knew Rudy was the one.
I see her old gray eyes are turning glassy. Damn, she's gonna make me cry like a baby in about 2.6 seconds. She continues,
My husband was the kind of guy that never got rid of stuff. If he paid good, hard-earned money for something, he would look after it for, well, forever. Just like he looked after me.
I see Sid, my Indian scout. He is now on the hunt for something else, moving old junk at the very back of the garage off what looks like another motorbike. Mrs. Simpson, is that another motorcycle over there?
Oh, that old piece of shit? It was here when we bought the place. I don't think it has ever run in 50 years. My husband called it Geronimo, but that's about all I know about the bike.
Sid honestly looks like he's going to pee his pants. With a name like Geronimo, it must be another old Indian. He says,
Mrs. Simpson, can I dig it out?
She looks over at Sid and says,
Sure, dig away. In fact, it's yours for $50.
Sold!
I give him my evil eye death stare. Fuck, I hear him say under his breath. In less than a minute, Sid has the bike uncovered. What a find! It's another Indian, a 1933 Chief. Yes, it was in pretty bad shape, but still probably worth around 15 grand. But if it was restored, ching, ching. I asked Mrs. Simpson what she wanted for all three vehicles, but she hasn't got the slightest idea what they're worth. So I come up with a number, hopefully not too high of a number. After all, I am spending Albert's life savings. Sid and I got the bikes into the back of the 1933 Ford, then drove the truck onto our car trailer. Wow, what a picture. I gave Mrs. Simpson a check for 40 G's. Hope it doesn't bounce, I say jokingly.
Money can bounce?
She asked, looking very seriously at me. She just keeps staring at the check, as if it was 40 million, not 40,000. I interrupt her thoughts and I say, I think you can give Rudy that kind of funeral that you wanted him to have. She stumbles forward and I catch her.
I can't believe that old truck can be worth that much money. We only paid $850 for it when we bought it brand new. Only $850. Brand new.
Do we have a deal?
Oh, yes.
She replies, kissing me on the cheek. She smiles and we shake hands.
Deal.
That's not all. I have a nice newer Buick on my lot, an automatic. I'm going to trade your old Sally for my newer one straight across, if that's all right with you. Also, if we get better bucks for the truck and bikes, I will share the profits with you. Once again, she looks at me with those big old sad eyes and says,
Mr. Anderson, I believe you will.
She gives me a long hug. When we are far enough away from Mrs. Simpson so that she cannot hear us, Sid says,
You know I want to keep the 1933 Indian.
It's yours for $13,333.33.
Hey, she said I could have it for $50.
Okay, Scrooge, do you want to dream of ghosts the rest of your life? $50? Not gonna happen. Wow, I say to Sid. Everything seems to be happening in threes today. What the fuck? We came here to get an old truck and got a beauty, plus a couple of great bikes. It's a threesome kind of day, I say. We drive away and I feel my heart is full. Oh, and I hope my pocketbook as well. On the way back to town, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. This crazy new adventure is kind of fun. Beats hanging around a car lot all day praying for a sale. We get back to the funeral home just before closing. I go over to tell my stories of the day to Tina. She is just hanging up the phone when I walk in the door.
Yes.
Someone die?
Yep. Actually 3. Kinda sad, though.
What happened?
There were 3 church ladies driving down 127 on the way home from bingo. I guess they were all chatting too much when they came around the corner to find a 1,000-pound bull in the middle of the lane. The VW Golf lost. The bull actually walked away. The 3 old ladies didn't make it.
Wow, that's brutal, I say. But I'm thinking of something else. Another threesome. This day is crazy. Everything just comes in threes.
What's going on in that big sick head of yours?
Tina looks at me puzzled. Well, Tina, have you ever thought about having a threesome?
What the fuck?
She jumps out of her chair in attack mode.
You sick bastard! You sick bastard! Me and my mother, you sick...
Her face is now very bright red. If looks could kill, I would be dead right now. I'm holding up my hand in front of her and I say, Whoa, Tina, that's not what I'm talking about. Whatever gave you that idea? Jesus. Now she's even blushing more. She plunks back down in her chair, putting her hands over her face.
Then what did you mean, Mr. Anderson, asking me a question like that?
Well, so I tell her my new idea of groupie cremation. Fried with your friends, go green, and we save money on our gas bill. When I finish the story, she says, now almost back to normal.
That still makes you a sick bastard.
And then some, I reply, smiling. Tina, this has been the craziest day. Everything happened in threes. Even the 3 poor bingo ladies. By the way, run the idea by their estate. Tell them that they can all save 33% on the cremation if they don't mind the no coffin and the mixed ashes part. Who knows? They might go for it. It's been that crazy of a day.
Man, where do you come up with this stuff?
My dad, he was a total whack job. Tina looks at the wall clock. It reads 5:33.
Closing time. Let's go. I need a drink. Make it a triple.
I thought you had enough of Leo's last night. What's with that?
I guess you're rubbing off on me. And that's not a good thing, Mr. Ben. By the way, if I was ever going to have a threesome, it would be with 2 guys. Just so you know.
I sigh and say, let's go, as I turn off the lights. That night, I only had 3 tequilas and 3 beers, but I dreamed of 3 lovely